This is the first easy, obvious, simple softball question.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most jaw-dropping revelations from celebrity interviews that completely caught us off guard.
Because I lead from the heart, not the head.
Number 10, Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong was one of the most celebrated cyclists, overcoming testicular cancer to win a record 7 consecutive Tour de France titles. Throughout his career, Armstrong faced doping allegations, which he continued to deny even when indicted by the United States Anti-Doping Agency and subsequently stripped of all his achievements. It wasn't until a January 2013 interview with Oprah Winfrey that he made his first public admission of guilt.
Again, these are my actions. I'm paying the price, but I deserve it.
Armstrong gave a partial confession. He admitted using illicit performance-enhancing drugs for at least a decade, but claimed to have stopped doping in 2005.
I'm deeply sorry for what I did. I can say that thousands of times, and it may never be enough.
Interestingly, he stated that he never viewed his actions as cheating, likening them to simply filling his tires with air or his bottle with water.
What's the moral to the story?
I don't have a great answer there.
Number 9, Devin Heiser and Lindsay Shaw. Get ready to have your childhood memories shattered. Between 2004 and 2007, Devin Heiser and Lindsay Shaw starred on the Nickelodeon series Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide as teenagers navigating their way through middle school.
I forgot to tell you guys, I took cooking instead of art. What?
But while it may have been an innocent show, it turns out behind the scenes, the two got off to some pretty racy stuff.
Do you remember the first XYZ that I
What are
gave
you gonna ask on this
Do you
podcast?
On their recap podcast, Ned's Declassified Podcast Survival Guide, Heiser and Shaw revealed that they hooked up multiple times while working together on the series.
I can't believe you're bringing this up.
Although they admittedly never went all the way, Heiser acknowledged that they got busy, attributing it to the fact that they were hormonal teenagers at the time.
Of course this episode had to go there, but damn, man.
Number 8, Alec Baldwin. In October 2021, a tragic incident occurred on the set of the Western film Rust.
Well, I would go to any lengths to undo what happened. I would go to any lengths to undo what happened.
During a scene rehearsal, actor Alec Baldwin accidentally discharged a live round from a prop gun, which resulted in the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins.
Baldwin, also one of the film's producers, publicly addressed the incident for the first time in an interview with George Stephanopoulos.
When he's saying this is a cold gun, what he's saying to everybody on the set is you can relax. The gun is empty.
Baldwin revealed that he didn't intentionally pull the trigger. Instead, the gun fired accidentally when he cocked it.
And then I let go of the hammer of the gun and the gun goes off.
This claim was supported by the film's assistant director, who had provided Baldwin with the firearm.
However, a subsequent examination by a forensics expert determined that the trigger would have had to have been pulled by Baldwin.
Number 7, Bethany Joy Lenz. For 9 years, Bethany Joy Lenz portrayed Haley James on the teen drama series One Tree Hill.
Stand up for what you believe in. The truth matters, so tell it, no matter what.
Throughout this period, she was also entangled in a religious cult, a fact that she revealed on an episode of the podcast Drama Queens. Lenz reportedly joined the cult not long after landing the part on One Tree Hill, initially believing it to be a regular Bible study group.
I was in a cult for 10 years. That would be a really valuable experience to write about, and the recovery that, 10 years of recovery after that.
However, it gradually transformed into a highly manipulative entity, exercising control over nearly every aspect of her life.
You join something that you think is good, you become a part of something you think is good and useful and helpful, and it gets twisted along the way.
During this challenging period, Lenz found solace and support from her One Tree Hill castmates. Eventually, with their assistance, she managed to free herself from the cult.
Yeah. So that's part of learning how to grow up too, learning those boundaries.
Number 6, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
In this 2021 interview hosted by Oprah Winfrey,
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle revealed many startling details from their time as working members of the royal family.
So you got word from overseas that we're taking away your security. Why were they doing that?
Their justification is a change in status.
Markle disclosed that the couple actually got married in a small secret wedding 3 days before their televised royal ceremony. Additionally, she criticized the British tabloid press for its apparent racist coverage and expressed frustrations with the royal family for not adequately addressing the narratives.
It wasn't just catty gossip. It was bringing out a part of people that was racist in how it was charged.
Particularly troubling were the allegations of concerns within the royal family about the potential skin color of their child Archie.
What was that conversation?
That conversation I am never going to share.
Markle disclosed that these issues led her to contemplate taking her own life. The widely watched interview drew polarizing reactions and significantly impacted the couple's favorability among the British public.
This is, in some ways, just the beginning for us. You know, we've been through a lot. It's felt like a lifetime.
Number 5, Quincy Jones. In 2018, music icon Quincy Jones gave a rambunctious interview to Vulture magazine where he discussed everything from Michael Jackson's plastic surgery to his theory on JFK's actual assassin. But what really captured widespread attention was a passing comment he made about Hollywood actor Marlon Brando.
David Marchese, who interviewed Jones for Vulture, couldn't believe his ears and he attempted to get some clarification.
Jones claims that Brando and legendary comedian Richard Pryor had engaged in a sexual relationship while they were alive. These revelations lit a firestorm on the internet,
with many wondering if they were factual or mere conjecture.
Pryor's widow appeared to validate the claim, noting that the comedian had been open about his bisexuality with friends.
She was then pushed for further comment on Pryor and Brando, and she responded by suggesting drugs likely played a role in the two stars hooking up.
On the other hand, Brando's family dismissed the rumor, referring to Jones's comment as wrongful.
People have spent the last 24 hours talking about it, and based on some of the things Quincy said, it seems like they're going to continue talking about this one for a long time.
Number 4, Richard Nixon. Following his resignation from the presidency in 1974, Richard Nixon largely retreated from the public. He resurfaced nearly 3 years later in an exclusive series of interviews with British journalist David Frost.
So beginning with June 20 then, what did Haldeman tell you during the 18.5-minute gap?
Haldeman's notes are the only recollection I have of what he told me.
The intense 4-part interview delved into Nixon's actions during his presidency, covering various topics from war to global affairs and, of course, the Watergate scandal.
Let me say that as far as that 18.5 minutes is concerned, I have no recollection of the conversation beyond what Haldeman's notes have indicated to refresh me on it.
After years of deflecting responsibility, the former president admitted that he had let the American people down and failed to uphold their trust.
I let down my friends. I let down the country.
One particularly memorable moment occurred when Frost questioned Nixon about the legality of a president's actions in certain situations of national security, prompting his controversial response,
Well, when the president does it, that means that it is not illegal.
Number 3, R. Kelly. In 2002, R. Kelly faced multiple criminal charges following the leak of a disturbing video of him and a minor. Kelly underwent a trial and in 2008 was acquitted of all counts. That year, he sat down for an interview with BET reporter Touré, who came right out of the gate asking the singer if he liked teenage girls.
Do you like teenage girls?
The normal response would have been a flat-out no. Instead, Kelly proceeded to ask for clarification, taking the wind out of the reporter's sails.
When you say teenage, how old are we talking? Girls who are teenagers.
Despite such a disturbing answer, there were no immediate repercussions for the singer. He continued to enjoy success until the release of the 2019 documentary Surviving R. Kelly, which ultimately led to his downfall.
I assumed that would get cut out. And when it finally aired, I was like, oh my God, they aired it.
Number 2, Diana, Princess of Wales. Years before Prince Harry's sit-down with Oprah Winfrey, his mother, Princess Diana, had an explosive interview with BBC's Martin Bashir.
How aware were you of the significance of what had happened to you? After all, you'd become Princess of Wales, ultimately with a view to becoming Queen.
I wasn't daunted. And I'm not daunted by the responsibilities that role creates.
During their candid conversation, Diana made shocking revelations about her tumultuous marriage to then Prince Charles, as well as her treatment by the royal family.
They see me as a threat of some kind. And I'm here to do good. I'm not a destructive person.
She disclosed details about Charles's affair with Camilla Parker Bowles, infamously referring to their marriage as a bit crowded.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
The Princess of Wales also spoke openly about her struggles with mental health and disordered eating,
and expressed doubts about Charles's ability to rule as king.
And because I know the character, I would think that the top job, as I call it, would bring enormous limitations to him. And I don't know whether he could adapt to that.
The fallout was immense. Although Charles and Diana had separated years earlier, the interview marked the final blow in their relationship, resulting in their divorce the following year.
I don't sit here with resentment. I sit here with sadness because a marriage hasn't worked. I sit here with hope because there's a future ahead. A future for my husband, a future for myself, and a future for the monarchy.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Michael Jackson. The 2003 documentary Living with Michael Jackson featured a series of interviews between Martin Bashir and the King of Pop.
Do you come out here on your own?
Yeah.
How often?
All the time.
The film was highly anticipated. However, once it aired, many were left stunned by the disturbing revelations made by Jackson himself. The singer, who had earlier faced accusations of improper relations with a minor, openly admitted to sharing his bed with children and defended it as a natural and innocent gesture.
That's a beautiful thing.
Well, not everyone saw it quite the same way.
But is that right, Michael?
It's very right. It's very loving. That's what the world needs now.
The revelation sparked such a huge controversy that it led to a criminal investigation. In December 2003, Jackson was charged with multiple felony counts and faced a sensational trial 2 years later. Ultimately, he was acquitted of all charges. Did we miss any other sensational celebrity interviews? Reveal them to us in the comments.
You look at each other differently that morning.
The first time?